All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive with me. And
Always a pleasure.
yeah, we always find some interesting stuff to look at. And today we are headed to 1973,
Okay.
Enfield, Illinois, for a deep dive into something called the Enfield Monster.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of this one. This is going to be good.
Yeah, it's one of those stories that it makes you wonder what could be out there that we haven't discovered yet.
Absolutely. And this case has all those classic elements, the small town, the late night encounter, the strange creature, and of course, no shortage of theories.
Exactly. And for this deep dive, we're going right to the source, an article from the Mount Vernon Register-News, a local paper that covered the incident back in '73.
So we're getting the story straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Exactly. And the main witness, a guy named Henry McDaniel, his account is, well, it's pretty vivid. He describes this creature as having 3 legs, a short body.
3 legs. Okay, that's unusual.
Right, 2 small arms, but the detail that really gets me are the eyes. He said it had 2 pink eyes as big as flashlights.
Wow. 2 pink eyes as big as flashlights. I mean, can you imagine seeing that in the dark?
Oh, man, it would be terrifying.
Oh,
And it gets creepier because it wasn't just a sighting. I mean, the police actually found evidence.
Really? Like what?
Scratches on McDaniel's door screen, like something he'd tried to get in.
Oh, that's unsettling. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there were footprints.
Footprints. Okay, this is getting interesting.
They kind of look like a dog's, but get this, they had 6 toes.
6 toes. Now, that's not something you see every day. That rules out a lot of the usual suspects right there. Most animals, even if they have extra digits, it's extremely rare to see a consistent 6-toed track.
Yeah, so what could it be? I mean, mistaken identity maybe, but those scratches, those footprints, it seems like there was something really there.
Right, and that's where the theories start flying. Could it have been a known animal with a birth defect? Some kind of bizarre hoax? Or are we dealing with something truly unknown?
And McDaniel himself had a pretty wild theory. He predicted that if they found it, they'd find more than one, and they wouldn't be from this planet.
Whoa, hold on. Aliens now. That's a whole different ballgame. Are we talking little green men or something else entirely?
Who knows, but it makes you think, right? Why jump to extraterrestrials? Is it easier to believe in something from another world than something that completely breaks our understanding of nature here on Earth?
It's a fascinating psychological question, I think. For some people, the unknown is just too much to handle. It's easier to fit it into a pre-existing framework like aliens, even if it means stretching the bounds of logic a little.
It's like with Bigfoot, right? We see
Yeah.
these reports of large, hairy creatures in the wilderness, often in places that are pretty isolated.
Yeah, and like this Enfield case, Bigfoot sightings tend to happen where human presence is limited. You have to wonder, is there a connection there? Is there some kind of creature that thrives in those environments?
Or maybe it's just that those are the places where our perceptions are most likely to be distorted. We're out of our element, darkness,
Yeah.
strange noises. It's easy to let your imagination run wild.
That's a good point. Our senses can definitely play tricks on us, especially when we're in unfamiliar territory.
So we have this strange creature, glowing eyes, weird footprints, a prediction of more out there. It's like something out of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But decades later, there's still no definitive explanation for what the Enfield monster really was.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of these kinds of mysteries. They force us to confront the limits of our knowledge and consider possibilities that we might have dismissed before. What's more likely, a creature that defies our understanding of biology, an elaborate hoax, or a misinterpretation of events fueled by fear and the unknown?
For me, the 6-toed footprints are the most intriguing part. There are actually legends of similar creatures with extra digits, like the Poquidji in Native American folklore. It makes you wonder if there's some deeper meaning behind these recurring motifs.
That's an interesting point. Is it just coincidence, or is there something more to it? Are there biological reasons we haven't discovered yet for these kinds of anomalies? It's a question worth exploring for sure.
It really is. So what do we make of McDaniel's prediction about there being more than one of these things and that they're not from Earth? It's a dramatic claim, to be sure.
It is. And while we can't completely rule it out, we have to remember the principle of Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is often the most likely.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe instead of jumping to aliens, we should be looking for more earthly explanations. Maybe there's a creature out there that we haven't identified yet, or maybe there's a more mundane explanation that we just haven't considered.
Exactly. The Enfield monster, like so many other unexplained phenomena, reminds us that there's still a sense of wonder and mystery in the world. And while we may never know for sure what McDaniel encountered that night, the story continues to fascinate and inspire us to explore the unknown.
Well, there you have it, folks. The tale of the Enfield monster. Eerie details, lingering questions, and a healthy dose of what if It's a reminder that our world is full of mysteries and that there's still so much we don't know.
And who knows, maybe someday we'll have the answers. But until then, the mystery of the Enfield monster lives on.
And hey, if you're ever in Enfield, Illinois, maybe keep a flashlight handy just in case you stumble across those pink eyes.
And let us know if you see anything, because we always love a good mystery.
That's right. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll be back soon with more strange tales and unexplained phenomena.
Until then, keep those porch lights on.
And your mind's open.